G'day guys, it's FPL EJ and welcome back to another FPL video. In this one we're going to be taking a look at players for you to put on your watch list from game week 10 onwards. When I'm watching Prem games, I've seen players that are looking good, have got very low ownership, and so I want to mention them in this video. For you to climb up the ranks, get green arrows, you sometimes need to be different from the crowd, and these differential picks in this video are going to help you climb those ranks because you're going to be different. If you guys go on to enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. All the support is appreciated massively. Thank you guys so much for all the support recently. Drop a comment if you have any questions, but let's get into this absolute banger of a video. Let's go. It's not often where you see someone talking about a Burnley player because they are at the bottom of the table, but this player here, MAXWEL CORNET, has looked very good at the moment. So he scored 2 goals on the weekend against Southampton. He played 77 minutes and scored 2, so he got 2 returns, but that's not the only reason I'm mentioning him. I'm a Man City supporter, so I watched Burnley versus Man City in game week 8, and he played very well, but he didn't get any returns. He just looks like there all the time. He plays on the left wing in midfield. He's very attacking. He likes to go up the field, get behind the defenders, put on shots, put on headers. Yeah, he's looking good. He's got good stats kind of now, but he is a minute risk at the moment. So he's played 77 minutes against Southampton. He scored 2 goals. He's played 55 minutes for City, also got rotated off then, didn't get any returns. And then he played 45 minutes versus Leicester in the game week 3, and he got 1 goal as well. So he's played 4 games, and 2 of them he scored 3 goals. So he's got 2 goals in one of them and 1 goal in another, and then he played against Arsenal and played 33 minutes and didn't get a return there. He's looking really good at the moment. If you want to go with that big differential pick that could pay off, then MAXWEL CORNET could be a player to look at. I'm not going to be just mentioning him for no reason at all. He's caught my eye when I've watched Burnley play. I know they're not a very good team. They don't have really good players. They've got a few good players, but you know, they're just not a great team. But MAXWEL CORNET is definitely someone that has caught my eye. He played for Lyon. He's got goals there as well. So yeah, his expected goals per 90 is still up there with 0.39, which is very good at the moment. He has got 3 goals, no assist, and he's taken around 2 to 3 shots per game, which is pretty good as well. And he's averaging 5.50 points per match for the 4 matches that he is included in. At the moment, he might be someone that you could look at, but it is a watch list video, and he is someone that you could even differentiate and bring in like that game week 12. If you wanted to get above people the ranks, as I mentioned in the intro, then he could be someone that you can consider. And yeah, he might be someone you can contemplate and bring into your team from that game week 12 mark, where they've got a few good fixtures, not Tottenham at home, but then Wolves away, Newcastle away. They've got good fixtures there. So if you want to bring someone in and contemplating on bringing someone in from like the Burnley side who aren't talked about much at all with bringing players into your FPL team, I don't see why MAXWEL CORNET isn't a good option. 9,450 managers have brought him in after his 2-goal haul against Southampton. He played that 77 minutes and managed to score 2 against Southampton's pretty strong defence recently. He is a midfielder, and at that price range of $6 million, that's very cheap in that midfield. There is 5.5 midfield options that play for better teams and stuff like that, but if you want to differentiate and bring someone in to your team that's different, then this 0.2% owned MAXWEL CORNET is someone that you could consider. BROJA, this is someone that has caught a lot of people's eye at the moment, and he might be someone that you could pick in that differential option. He has replaced Adam Armstrong in that forward spot. Adam Armstrong hasn't played many minutes in the last 2 matches. Adam Armstrong did get rotated on for Redmond. Redmond plays on the left at the front with BROJA on his right for the last 2 matches. Against Leeds, he played 80 minutes in game week 8, and then he played 78 minutes versus Burnley this game week 9. He's looked really good for the last matches that he's played for more than 30 minutes, because he's played a few matches under 30 minutes coming on in that like 70th minute mark and stuff like that. For the matches that he's played over 30 minutes, he has scored, which is the 2 most recent games as well. So he is someone that you could bring in as a differential pick in the upcoming game weeks. I wouldn't maybe pick him yet, but if you want to get on him now, maybe for Watford and Norwich, then he could be someone, especially if he keeps holding the Adam Armstrong spot. He does get rotated off in the end game. He got rotated off for Che Adams this week against Burnley, but he is looking really good. And if you want someone to bring in, then why not? Especially when he's got an expected goals per 90 of 0.51. He is a $5 million price, cheaper than Hwang Hee-chan forward for Southampton. They've still got Norwich to come up away. We know how bad Norwich are. They lost to Chelsea 7-0, even though Chelsea are a top class team. Norwich aren't good at the moment. 14,000 people have brought in BROJA at the moment. He's got expected goals of 0.51, which is very, very high at the moment. So if you're going to bring him in, why wouldn't you? He scored 2 goals, as I mentioned. His shots per 90 is 3.75, which is looking really good. He's getting around 3.33 points per match in the games that he has played. Their fixtures are fine. BROJA might be the new player to replace with Armstrong. He is a cheaper option, plays in that forward role, as I did also mention before. He's looking really good. So if you wanted to bring BROJA on, I don't see why not. Yeah, he's just that differential that I wanted to put in this watch list video, because you could add him to your watch list, hold on until Southampton's fixtures change again. From right now, he might be a good option to bring in. Tielemans, what a goal he scored against Brentford. He's looking very good at the moment, untalked about because of Vardy and players like Iheanacho in the Leicester team, but why not start talking about Tielemans? He plays just behind Maddison, Vardy and Iheanacho in the front. Tielemans plays as a centre mid on that right. Next to him is Soumare and Pereira on the right as well, and then Soumare on the left. And Tielemans is just looking very good at the moment. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists this season. His expected goals and expected assists per 90 is pretty low. He's definitely someone that we can all consider. He's got 5 returns this season, so he's going to be getting you points. If you wanted to bring Tielemans in as that differential option to get ahead of the crowd, then I don't see why not. His fixtures are looking good as well after that Chelsea fixture. Maybe Arsenal and Chelsea hold off him until then Watford, Southampton, Aston Villa. He's averaging 5.22 points per match. He's just a differential option that has not been talked about much. He's 6.4 million in that midfield position. You know, you get to choose 5 midfielders in FPL, so why couldn't he be one of those cheaper options, especially if you're going to have players like Foden in your team and like Havertz or Mason Mount in your team? Then yeah, you never know. Tielemans might be an option that you guys could differentiate and bring into your team from that game week 13 point. He's looking really good at the moment, so I don't see why not. He's just a good player, and yeah. Callum Wilson, he rarely disappoints you, and he's back now as well. He had a 4-game week break where he didn't play for 4 games, but in the last few games he's came back and he's looking good again. As well, against Crystal Palace, he scored an absolute ripper of a goal, bicycle kick into that top left corner. What a goal that was. You can't say that's a consistent kind of goal that you can do all the time, but if you had him in your team, then you're lucky to get a few points off him from that goal. He did get a yellow card, which is a bit annoying against Crystal Palace, but if you want to bring in Callum Wilson, I reckon Callum Wilson is the best option to bring in for Newcastle. I've got St. Maximin in my team. He plays on the left of Wilson, but I think if you're going to bring in someone from Newcastle, it has to be Wilson. He's the most attacking, he gets the goals, and St. Maximin is there to assist him more. Wilson is definitely someone you guys can consider. He's looking really good at the moment. You can see his expected goals per 90 is 0.63, which is very high because he hasn't really played many games. The games that he's played, he's only gone with that 1 game where he hasn't scored a goal. So yeah, he's looking really good, and his shots per 90 is around 2.77, pretty low, but it's still around 3 shots per game. He's getting averaging of 5.80 points per match for the games that he has played. Their fixtures aren't too good now, but if you want to bring him in, or Alan St. Maximin if you want to risk that, and for Norwich at home in game week 14, then Burnley at home in game week 15, that is a great run of fixtures there. So I don't see why you wouldn't want to bring him in if you have the room and you have transfers left, or you have nothing else like injuries you have to worry about and stuff like that. He's definitely a good option for you guys as a forward for 7.3 million. You could maybe stay off him for a while. You could keep on Juan Jimenez. You could keep like Vardy, and then maybe Lukaku might be back then in game week 14. You might want to look onto him, or Ronaldo's fixtures turn around that game week 15 mark as well. But Callum Wilson is someone that rarely disappoints, as I did mention before. So if you want to bring him in, then you're guaranteed you can get points every second or first week as well. So yeah, he might be a good option. I personally wouldn't bring him in now until around that after game week 13 mark, but yeah, it's up to you. He's a good player to add to your watch list. Mason Mount, is he back? That is something that we're going to discuss now. He scored an absolute ripper hat-trick against Norwich. I know it is only Norwich, but he still managed to score a hat-trick, score his first goal for this season, and then made it into 3 goals as well. He got 2 assists at the start of the season, game week 1 and 2, but now he just scored a hat-trick against Norwich. A lot of people got Havertz, and if you got Mason Mount instead of Havertz, then you must be a very happy FPL manager this week. Him getting you 24 points. If you captain him, he would be getting you 48 points. So yeah, he's definitely a player that might be back in. 255,000 managers have already brought him in since he got that hat-trick and an assist against Norwich. He did get that really high mark of point. Mason Mount could definitely be that 2-week punt before you take him out for maybe Leicester, Man United, and then when Lukaku's back, he might stay a bit quieter, maybe get some assists and stuff. The 3 goals, 2 assists so far this season, a very good expected goals per 90 and expected assists per 90, as you guys can see there. He's averaging 5.85 points per match for the games that he has played so far this season. He is looking really good, and if you want to bring in Mason Mount for a 2-week punt or 3-week punt, you can bring him in and keep him for game week 14. Whatever you guys plans to do. You have Foden in, you want to bring in as well, but for the next 2 game weeks, Mason Mount is probably the player to pick. It may feel like you're trying to chase points by bringing Mason Mount in now. Against Newcastle and Burnley, he did it against Norwich. I don't see why he can't do it against Newcastle and Burnley's defence, which is not too good, versus second and third bottom of the ladder. I don't see why he can't do it again. If you do have him, keep him for these 2 fixtures as well. He's rarely going to not get one return out of the 3 games if Lukaku is not back by game week 10 or 11. Havertz would definitely get a return from game week 10 to 11. If you have him, it's disappointing, especially if you put the captain armband on him. 7 goals, the only play in Chelsea's team that did not get a return that game. Is pretty annoying. He's looking good. Havertz didn't look too good. Mason Mount is looking good. Havertz just in front is at number 9, then him playing is at number 10 kind of position. Jorginho, James on the right at the back, then playing a 3-4-2-1 there. So yeah, Mount, he bagged a hat-trick. He might be someone to punt and bring in as a punt for 7.5 million. Get on him now before he has another price rise, because he only just had a price rise today, so that's accurate now with 7.5 million. His ownership is 12.1%. So if you're going to get on him for this 2-week punt, you have the players to do it. You don't have many injured players, or you want to bring him in, then do it soon. Maybe wait after the press conferences if there's any more news about Lukaku, or say if you have Vardy news about his injury, or Mbeumo if you have Mbeumo, just players like that. But if you're going to bring Mason Mount in, if you can, for a 2-week punt that's not going to wreck your team, then I don't see why not. I reckon he's a good option for those next coming game weeks. AUBAMEYANG playing as that number 9 position for Arsenal. He is looking really good at the moment. He is $10 million, which is a lot of money. That's why people don't have him at the moment. His ownership is only 4.2%. He's underlying his stats so much. His expected goals per 90 is 0.51, which is extremely high. He's had 41,000 transfers in since he got a goal against Aston Villa in their 3-1 defeat. AUBAMEYANG has scored a lot of goals recently. He scored 4 goals, 1 assist this season so far. He's taking 2.94, so 3 shots per match. He's averaging around 4.62 points per match. If Vardy is out now, then AUBAMEYANG could be the pick. Kane did look deadly though, as well against West Ham. He didn't get any returns, but Kane, his fixtures are coming good in that game week 15 as well. Here you could bring in Kane, you could bring in AUBAMEYANG if Vardy is out. You have Vardy, or you have Lukaku or Ronaldo, and you want to replace them, then AUBAMEYANG could be that pick for them. He is 10 million, so he is in that kind of premium bracket of strikers, but he's looking good for Arsenal. He's pretty nailed on at the moment. He hasn't been getting rotated off or anything, so yeah, he might be a player that you could look to bring in your team if Vardy is injured. But if you have to wreck your team to bring in AUBAMEYANG, I don't think it is worth it, especially when he's only averaging around that 4.62 points per match. It is good, but for £10 million, then I don't think that is too good for a £10 million striker. That would be good for maybe someone at the max of £9 or £8 million, but for a £10 million striker, he could do some damage against Watford at home and Newcastle at home, and then Liverpool and Leicester in between them. So yeah, he might be someone you could bring in for that game week 11 and 13. He has a punt for game week 13, punt for Newcastle, game week 11 punt for Watford at home, but I wouldn't be bringing him in unless we get news. So wait till after press conferences if you want to do this transfer, unless we get news that Jamie Vardy is out and you currently own Jamie Vardy. If he is out, then go straight to AUBAMEYANG. I reckon it is a great option. I don't think he'll disappoint you. He isn't like every attacking play that Arsenal play at the moment, so when that ball gets up there and there's a goal, you want to look to see it's either him getting an assist or him getting a goal. He's looking really good at the moment, and I don't see why not, especially when you've got players on fire like Smith Rowe behind him, Lacazette and Saka, and that's, Saka, Martin Odegaard as well. There's definitely players that can work with him, feed the ball through to him, especially against Watford, Newcastle. He's someone that won't disappoint, I don't think. If you want to bring AUBAMEYANG in and let him do 10 flips when you get to goal, then why not? He might be that differential pick as a premium if Vardy is out and you own Vardy, or to replace Ronaldo or Lukaku if you haven't. So yeah, AUBAMEYANG, he might be the way to go if those premiums are out, but I wouldn't be wrecking your team to bring him in, no way. So yes, that is my watch list video for Game Week 10. Comment down below if you're interested in any of the 6 players that I mentioned today, whether it be Tielemans, BROJA, AUBAMEYANG. Who are you guys interested in? Let me know down below. If you have any other differential kind of picks that you want to put onto your watch list, watch closely until they maybe get returns or get better fixtures, then just tell me in the comments. I'm interested to hear what your guys' thoughts are on players to pick for Game Week 10 onwards for good fixture runs, etc. like that. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I hope that you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm putting a lot of effort in them as always, but I'm really loving it. So make sure you just drop a sub. That shows a lot of support to me. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.